On November 23rd, 2014, during the main event of Survivor Series, Sting made his first ever appearance in WWE by attacking Triple H with a Scorpion Death Drop and also costing Team Authority the match. Sting and Triple H had a confrontation at Fastlane on February 22nd, 2015 to schedule a match between the two at WrestleMania. Press play. I don't know why they called it that, but which Sting lost continues his losing streak when he faces Seth Rollins at Night of Champions. Unfortunately, he suffered a neck injury that caused him to retire and caused us to miss out on a dream match between Sting and The Undertaker. Here on New Entry Wrestling Podcast, what are your thoughts and how would you book this right?
And we're going to find that out with Andre the Savage. Let's get it. Andre's
He's ready. He's ready.
he's like,
He's like, oh yeah, there you go.
as
For
soon
everybody,
as soon as he
doesn't like
heard
it,
the injury of Sting's injury and the miss dream match, the disappointment of Andre's face of like,
He's like, I'm ready to cook right now, man.
Yeah,
I'm in the kitchen
funny.
right now. What am I gonna do?
I think everything was actually booked decently for the modern era,
Yes.
based on who was the gorilla at the time.
Mm-hmm.
I just would have Triple H lose to Sting, not go over.
We all agree on that. We all,
because I mean, what was the point of having all these legends that told Triple H, you've never faced a guy like Sting. Of all the guys I've known, Sting is something different.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you hyped him up for just to get a SummerSlam 2003 finish on him. That's what it was.
It was
him running into the sledgehammer, a broken sledgehammer nonetheless.
Yeah,
a broken sledgehammer that somehow a wooden bat is strong enough to break the stem off of, even though the damn stick from the sledgehammer is much bigger than a bat, but physics. Yeah, I would just have Sting go over, and I would just say, if you could change anything, change that spot, the turnbuckle thing. Just don't do it.
It's him going for the splash.
It's not a finish. It's not a move that should be done on older guys.
You mean the turnbuckle bomb by Seth?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, we're at Night of Champions now.
I'm saying keep everything going. Let Seth go over because he needs a victory over a legend.
Yeah.
But if you avoid that spot, you could probably avoid an injury to Sting. Let him take some time off after losing to Seth. And yeah, maybe you could have booked Undertaker versus Sting, but I just, at the age that they were both, I don't know if it would have worked. Because for all you know, you could have gotten the same Undertaker you got at the following WrestleMania.
Yeah.
WrestleMania, what was it, 33?
32.
I'm talking about 2017. The match you had with Roman is what you likely would have had with Sting and Undertaker. You could have had that because these guys didn't have the endurance they had when they were younger. They didn't have that stamina anymore. Their bodies weren't built like that. They were anymore. The best time to have done that was 2011, but that didn't happen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They were way past their prime, and it was like this weird house show that I saw of Hogan and Ric Flair that they had sometime after they both left the WWF. I mean, the WWE. And after Ric Flair's retirement, he had one more match with Hogan. It was for a charity event.
Brutal in 2010.
Yeah. As brutal as that was, that's exactly what I think it would have happened with Taker and Sting, with respect to both of them and their careers.
Mm-hmm.
At this point in time, it just doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would have had him lose to Seth, but later on, maybe he's the captain from that Team Hogan and whatever, right? Maybe they have another Survivor Series match afterwards, where he gets another opportunity at the title, or gets inserted into the title picture somehow.
Yeah. Okay. Short and sweet. Nice. I'll go. I agree exactly with with Andre. I would. Well, the thing is, I wouldn't put that like WCW thing, like WCW or WWE thing. Like it's way past the time. By 2014, it was like, wait, why are we talking about WCW still? You know. By then, we obviously they were talking about
It was
TNA.
a nice angle for it. I get it. It's like,
Yeah,
why are you doing this?
yeah,
But if I feel like that's the reason why Triple H needed to go over.
yeah. No, but I would agree with him with like Sting winning at WrestleMania, but none of that like NWO DX interference thing. Keep it because the thing is, Sting was an enemy of the NWO for the longest time. So why would they be helping him now? You know, in 2014 or 2015.
because I think for that it was because the guys looked more believable
Ah,
than
and
than
Sting didn't have nobody in WCW.
if anything, Sting was more of a horseman than an NWO guy.
Yeah. So
He
I would
just he
say,
just hap- he just happened to have the colors of the NWO.
yeah,
That's why they threw him into NWO red.
And the theme of WrestleMania 31 was black and white.
yeah. But for mine, I wouldn't put neither. I would have just kept it 1-on-1, kept it in the ring. No sledgehammer, just Sting win clean with Triple H. And then I would agree with the Seth Rollins that like don't do the buckle bomb like that move. I'll be like, because obviously I think he used it before and after that, but if I went back in time, like never use that move, especially like you said against an older guy like this. Or I would kayfabe injure him instead. Like he get injured, but in reality it wasn't by it wasn't by
That's what
buckle
kayfabe
bomb.
means, ever.
Yeah, yeah, okay, I know. Because somebody doesn't know what it is. People can watch
Kayfabe
this, they don't.
means it's not real.
Not real. Well, it could be real, but like it could be like
It's
less
still real to
impactful.
me, damn it.
It's still real to
Not
me.
real.
But I would still go, yeah, like you said with the Undertaker and Sting. By that time, they weren't in their best. You know, like you say, wouldn't be the best match. It'd be like really sloppy. Maybe just like injure him, kayfabe injure him, and just like that's it. You know, and then if he wants to come back when hey, we're Sting and Undertaker. Let's do this, get healthy again. Let's rebuild you guys. You guys are ready to wrestle, but you guys need a couple more years. In a couple years, we could like what is that called? Reimagine this or redo it. Do this actually. So I wouldn't do this until later on, until I know that like they're both ready. Because I know at that time they're
Oh, so
both
you're
ready.
like basically like, hey, I need you guys to start working out around this time, and
Yeah,
I'm gonna check up on you 2 or 3 months. And if you guys are not in the best shape, we're not doing this
we're
match.
scrapping it. So then Sting kind
I
of like
like that. They
he's
should
kind of
start
like
doing that more.
it's kind of like injured, but he's like, how they like took off Ricochet out of injury, like they injured him and he's gone, like
Yeah,
that
from
kind of
Braun
thing.
Breaker.
And they still have that kind of like open door where like you got injured, but you're kayfabe injured, so you could like come
You're
back
written
anytime.
off.
Yeah, you're written off until you see telenovelas where they kill off the character, but he like ends up at the end with like he ends up like his car gets off gets it goes off the cliff and it explodes, but then next thing you see him like pop out of the water, and that's not like the show
Oh
ends.
yeah, yeah.
But the
Next
show
thing
doesn't end,
he's
but like it's like he could come back. They
right.
think
He
he's
survived
dead.
he survived the accident or the
Yeah, like
explosion,
Dios
whatever.
mío, like él murió Ernesto. Murió
So
Hector un accidente de carro. Like no,
you mean
like
like
no, we
Soraya
will.
Montenegro from you
Yeah,
mean like Soraya Montenegro from Manila del Valle who kept coming back from her death.
exactly. So it's
I have
like,
no idea. I
you
wouldn't
don't
know
check
that
on
part. No.
Maria del Barrio.
I watched Desperate Housewives, bro.
Ah, dude.
Desperate Housewives, How I Met Your Mother, Modern Family. That's what I watch. Well, I don't
I
watch
watched
it. I have it in the
Virgin
background.
Rosa de Guadalupe. That stuff was fire. Okay, let's get back on. Well, yeah, that's how I would do with Sting. Like you kill him, like like he's gone, but he has a window if he wanted to. He could come back later and just do the Hall of Fame. You
So
know,
you're saying that you're gonna put him in a limo with Vince?
Oh my
maybe.
gosh.
Oh, yeah, there you go. Like
You
that.
actually could. With the he is the crow he's using the crow gimmick.
Yeah, the crow, because I think he dies, right? Or he's unkillable. Yeah, he's unkillable. So it's like, oh, I didn't really die. I'm the crow.
Ah, hey, you guys don't like Sting.
I
Clearly.
like Sting. Oh,
Anyways, it's my turn. Save the best for last, I guess. All right. Bear with me, guys. I took a lot of notes. I wrote it down. So, all right. Sting's WWE debut was amazing, but it didn't really make sense. He started his feud with Triple H and the Authority back in Survivor Series 2014, and it led to a match against Triple H. And just like Booker T, he lost. Triple H needed that last win over the WCW and WWE wars. Sting has been in TNA. The true wrestling fans would see Sting as a TNA guy, basically.
Yeah. By that point.
Very little see him as the WCW guy. So let's be honest. Triple H should have faced Dolph Ziggler at WrestleMania 31, and Sting should have faced Bray Wyatt. I believe Sting should have made his debut to go up against Bray Wyatt after his match against Dean Ambrose. Like, Sting could have made a video package just basically saying that he's arriving to WWE. Bray Wyatt obviously gets distracted by Dean Ambrose, takes advantage of this moment by hitting him with a dirty D. Instead of, I think the match ended. It ended in no disqualification. I don't know who got the win. I think Bray Wyatt got the win, but at least this way, Dean Ambrose gets the victory over Bray Wyatt. So the feud between Bray Wyatt and Sting, the first match will take place at WrestleMania Press Play. Wyatt gets the win over Sting. Would have been great for his career, or even losing to him wouldn't even hurt as much as his loss against Cena at WrestleMania 30. But I'm gonna go with the idea that Sting wins his first ever WrestleMania against Bray Wyatt with the Scorpion Deathlock. He doesn't tap. He passes out just like Stone Cold Steve Austin WrestleMania 13. And at Extreme Rules, I would have gave him both of them a rematch where Bray Wyatt gets his win back. I would have kept it a singles match, but at the next premium live event, Payback, I would have booked the two either inside a steel cage match or a castic match. Really how dark and twisted it gets. Like, if Sting was more into like that crow, then obviously be a castic match. But if it's like the Icon Sting, just what he's been doing when he made his debut, like the TNA version, then obviously it's going to be inside a steel cage match. On a Monday Night Raw, I will book a tag team match with Seth Rollins and Kane to face John Cena and a mystery partner that will show up later in the main event. Turns out to be Sting. Triple H is very upset about this. Starts a feud, reminds him of what Sting did. Or not Sting did, because this starts the whole feud with the Authority and Seth Rollins. So at SummerSlam, Sting versus Triple H. First time ever. So bear with me because all these other matches are all connected. So I have more than just one match because it's all tied together in a way. So SummerSlam, I got Sting versus Triple H. First time ever. No disqualification match. So that's like the headline. That's my big match. I got a triple main event, by the way. So I got Seth Rollins versus John Cena. Winner takes all for WWE title and the United States title. I got Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar. But Undertaker is not the dead man gimmick. He's the American badass. You know how Undertaker came back in 2000 when he attacked Kane? That's how the match is going to be. The SummerSlam that Undertaker and Kane had, that no contest at SummerSlam 2000, that's the match that Brock Lesnar and The Undertaker are going to have. They're just going to fight.
Okay.
There's no dead man. It's just, I'm pissed off, bro. When Undertaker comes back, he comes back as the American badass. Let's see. So the wrestler that goes over at SummerSlam is Triple H, Seth Rollins, and the Undertaker and Brock Lesnar ends in a no contest. At Night of Champions, I get a rematch. Sting versus Triple H. If Sting wins, he gets a WWE title shot. Later in the match, Seth Rollins versus John Cena. 2 separate single matches. The United States title, and then after that, the WWE title. Cena retains the United States Championship. Seth Rollins retains the WWE Championship. After the match, Sting shows up. Scorpion Death Drop Seth Rollins. Hell in a Cell. Brock Lesnar versus The Undertaker. Seth freaking Rollins versus John Cena. Once again, Seth Rollins retains, but this time it's just for the WWE title. After that, Sting shows up one more time. Scorpion Death Drop on Seth freaking Rollins. Survivor Series main event. Seth Rollins defends the WWE title against Sting for the first time ever. Finally, the match that we've been wanting to see for like about 2 months at this point. Now, I got 2 endings.
Okay.
My first ending is that Sting gets the victory, right? He does a suplex off the top rope, hooks up, Scorpion Deathlock, Seth freaking Rollins taps out. Triple H comes out, acknowledge Sting, confetti, everything. Same thing like when Roman won the title at Survivor Series 2015. The celebration, and then Stephanie and Triple H comes out. Instead of Sheamus cashing in, it's none other than Dolph Ziggler. So instead of getting that moment of stealing the moment, or even if, hey, we want Sting, let's just say if Sting makes his debut at Survivor Series, right? And does the showing up and helps out Dolph Ziggler and Team Cena, right? Dolph Ziggler could still cash in on Sting for stealing his moment, stealing his spotlight. I didn't need you there. And plus, I stepped up. I was willing to put my career on the line for this moment, and you took it away from me. I was willing to lose my job, and you took it away from me. I didn't need your help. So now he shows up, super kick. I'm cashing in my Money in the Bank briefcase. Ring the bell, super kick, zigzag, 1, 2, 3. Now you got your new authority. Bye-bye, Seth Rollins. Hello, Dolph Ziggler. He's here to show the world. My other version is Seth Rollins retains. Dolph Ziggler shows up. Same thing. Super kick, zigzag, new WWE World Heavyweight Champion, Dolph Ziggler. Dolph Ziggler should have gotten his freaking moment in 2015. Even if it's a short title reign. Why is it that I was able to book Dolph Ziggler almost 10 years later and you guys couldn't do the same thing? It's not that difficult. Just book it.
Oh, rebuttal.
Hold on. If you recall in a previous show, I said it should have been Dolph versus Seth, not Dean versus Seth. And I even put Dolph over without interference. So nuts to you.
Not to you. You made it seem like I was insulting you for booking that match. But for anyways, regardless, Sting loses or wins and drops the title to Dolph Ziggler. Kind of like how you guys had your moment book Goldberg to get his redemption, where it's like, I don't really need a win over you. I just need to kick your ass. That's what Sting does. Why did you do it? Because you stole my moment. Oh, my bad. All right. Scorpion Death Drop. That's it. All right, bye. And then after that, he goes on to the Royal Rumble. I had him enter as number 22 and The Undertaker as 23. And then that builds up their feud at WrestleMania 32. And yes, Andre and Ever, I both agree. They can't go. But if you bring that American Badass version out of The Undertaker, yes, that version could go. The dead man who does the old school, the clothesline, the rising thing. That guy, no, he's done. He
So which
that
Sting
get
is it going to be? If it's that Undertaker, which Sting is it?
uh
Bro, the 98 Sting or
honestly, the Joker Sting.
so 2011.
The Joker Sting, because if you really think about it, it snaps. The Sting kind of snaps where it's like, I don't want to face you, man. Because the Undertaker could be the one, I want to face you. I don't want to. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. Taker, leave me alone. You don't want this match. And then you got AJ Styles walking in and be like, what happened to you? What do you mean what happened to me? Nothing happened to me. Just starting pushing the buttons of bringing the Joker Sting back. And that's how we get the Joker Sting versus the American Badass, because that's more of what we really want to see. Not really. Yeah, the dead man, the dead man and Sting, sure. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know why people want to see that. The Crow version and the dead man, I don't. I feel like it's not too similar, but it's just like I don't get why people want to see that version. I'd rather see the American version, the people that can actually talk on the mic.
Yeah. Well, I think because like Sting was like the Undertaker of WCW, right?
I didn't see it that
No,
way.
no.
I really didn't.
It's like he's like the dark character that's mysterious. He has
That's
like
the only
the
reason why.
supernatural thing about
can
him, you
I
know?
can I say I feel like who Sting was, Bret Hart could have been if he would have stayed after the Montreal Screwjob.
Okay. Because we never talk about the surfer Sting. We never talk about that, the blonde haired Sting, you know?
That was way before. Like I didn't even knew nothing about wrestling at
The
that
Jim
time.
Crockett promotion.
I did watch
Like
his matches,
NWA.
like against Ric Flair. Yeah, they were enjoyable, but at that time it was just like, again, I never. I all my great matches of Sting were in TNA.
Yeah.
That character was past the phase when it showed up. If it had showed up in the 80s instead of the 90s, yeah, he probably would have succeeded in the WWF. That Surfer Sting. I don't know if he would have been, I don't know if he would have been a world heavyweight champion, but he definitely would have been a top intercontinental champion for sure.
Oh yeah, he would have been a top baby face.
Just because he had the look, he had the moves, and he had the right color at the time to go with what the 80s were.
Yeah, they're
Especially in the WWF.
Like that blonde hair, and he had those weird colors,
That
like the 80
that was
colors.
sports entertainment look. That was not wrestling like how everybody else was in WCW.
Yeah. That's what made him stood out. And I think at that time, professional wrestling at that time was different because it was all about just having an opportunity, and just because no matter if you're if even if the red light is on, you're still gonna get a nice payday. But people wanted to be on TV at that time because that's how other promotions see you, and to get bookings somewhere else. And that's why people want to be in the spotlight on television. So, but yeah, crazy time. So yeah, that's Sting. Any great favorite matches from Sting? Any moments? I got moments. Shit. My favorite moment of
I
Sting?
have more moments than anything, but I know what my least favorite Sting match is.
What is it?
The one where he faced
The last one was the worst.
Which one?
when his tag team partner was RoboCop.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't watch that one,
Weird.
but I
That's
seen clips of
WCW.
it. I seen clips. I didn't watch like a full match. I just seen clips of it, and also when
Jeff
they were like on
Hardy,
stage.
the worst one, Jeff Hardy and Sting, where he
Bro,
just
that was
beats him in like
disappointing. That was disappointment.
That almost
I
ended
was
TNA right there. They almost
I
catch
wa-
TNA after that.
I watched that live. That pay-per-view was actually decent till that point. It
You
was
get a
just
refund on it or what? You're like, hey,
It's
I want
kind
money
of
back.
it's kind of his fault why everybody kept using the substance abuse angle on him afterwards, because he kind of put himself in that situation by having that moment live on a pay-per-view.
Yeah.
So, you know, even though he gave them the green light, it's like, okay, dude, this is. I mean, you did this to yourself.
Mhm.
Yeah. Don't do
Same
drugs,
with,
kids.
same with Scott Hall. That's why they
Yeah.
were able to kind of mess with him, but they were trying to rejuvenate him until he just couldn't control himself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was it was a dark time for TNA and all that. And then like I felt like Eric Bischoff did his I know he did what was he tried his best to handle that moment, but I just felt like we were as fans at that time I was screwed where it was just like you telling me that you couldn't have RVD or Mr. Anderson or a top heel saying, "Hey, go out there and have a quick 5-minute match with Sting." And call it in the ring because I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
Sting is professional enough. You know what I mean? I feel like there was other options of just you. Eric Bischoff could have just said, "You're not going out there, man."
Yeah.
I just feel like I don't know. I wasn't there backstage. Maybe there wasn't nobody. Maybe Eric Bischoff did have that moment of like, oh damn, where's RVD? Where's Mr. Anderson? And no, because there's no maybe because it's not like an arena. It was a studio at Universal, so
Yeah.
it wasn't like there was a locker room down the hall. You had to leave that studio to go to the locker rooms, or if you had a trailer, you know. So you actually had to leave the building to go get these talents. So there is a possibility. So, I've
So
been in
lack
the
of
Impact
judgment,
Zone.
pretty much, right? Like lack of judgment. Like, oh, you know what? No, because the point wrestling, you have to protect each other.
Yes.
Like if you go out there and you can't protect the other guy, or you're not capable of taking care of the other person, you're pretty much blackballed. I'm surprised he didn't get blackballed after that.
For
'Cause you're like,
who?
well,
For Sting or Jeff
or
Hardy?
Jeff, because I'm like, he's like, oh, I know I'm not in my right set of mind. I should not be out here. I might seriously injure this guy or
Well,
kill
Jeff
him
lied
in the
to
ring.
them. Jeff lied to
Exactly.
them.
See,
Yeah.
that's better. That would have been blackballed. Anybody else would have been blackballed. We would have been not
He
dealing with
he
that.
he almost did, but they when he came back in 2011.
Yeah.
So, but that
Still.
yeah, but that was the other thing. I felt like with Sting and Jeff Hardy, it was another match that we should have gotten a rematch to make up,
Yeah.
and we never did.
Yeah.
So
It's a tainted match. Like, oh, Jeff Hardy versus Sting. Like everybody goes back to that match. Like, no.
yeah, and it's
Bad
like
I think,
they
pacing about.
I think at that point, Sting just couldn't trust Jeff anymore.
Yeah.
yeah
Even
It also
even
defines
though
like
even though he
Bischoff and
even though he sobered up and went through the rehab, it's like, okay, how many more times is he gonna go through rehab before he gets it?
mm,
that
Remember,
kind
Scott
of
Hall did the same thing.
yeah
Even on TNA, remember he had that he was really messed up.
it
Like
was.
and
I think
and
his
then
TNA time was tougher than his WCW times.
I don't know which one was worse. Well, obviously the TNA one because that one was televised. But if you remember, a few years later, before his Hall of Fame induction, he had a indie show he did, and he was so
Oh my gosh, I
they
do.
had they had to maneuver him.
I
It was
remember
almost like he
that.
was
yeah.
panicking.
Damn.
They had to help him do the Razor's Edge because
Yeah.
it's like obviously he was not upstairs.
Oh no,
That's
I remember that. It was actually the promoters that got blackballed from that moment, I believe, because they were like, "Why are you still having Scott Hall go out there? He's not even in the right mindset. He's not even there. His
his sons
body's
were
there."
his sons were even like, "Why would you do that, dude?
Yeah, that I remember
And
that
you did it just
footage.
for the money." That's how bad he was with his situation.
I think he already accepted the
That,
money, and that's why they did it.
that's when everybody, even Kevin Nash, left him. Like they just stopped trying with him, and that's what led to DDP
Yeah.
buying him a few more years.
Mm,
That's what bought him that extra time. If not, I think at that point I think he would have been gone at that point
Wow.
or closer to then had DDP not stepped in.
yeah, DDP saved his life. Like you said, he gave him
He
gave
bought him. He bought him
bought
extra
him more
time.
time. Yeah, bought him after extra time. So RIP to Scott Hall. But
Yeah.
my favorite moment for Sting. So Sting was one of those. Sting to me is like a Triple H. And I always thought he was going to be that guy that I'm never going to see him wrestle live. and then or just see him in general. Sacrifice 2012, Orlando.
Mhm.
I went, got to see my favorite match, a match I never thought I was gonna see live. Kurt Angle versus AJ Styles.
Woo.
Man, great match. Crowd was hot. Main event time. Bobby Roode versus RVD ladder match. Bobby Roode wins. Awesome. Great. Then later on, 2 days later, Bobby Roode versus AJ Styles in the main event, once again on a taping. Bobby Roode wins. He is now the longest reign world champion at this point. Lights go out. I'm like, there's no effing way. There is no effing way. There is no effing way. Lights go on. There's effing Sting. He made his return. I'm in the corner. He's on the ring post, standing. I'm looking up at Sting. No way. He did not wrestle. Just that moment of just seeing him. Forever, my life. My second was to see him wrestle. I finally got to see him wrestle. At this point, he's probably 50 years old. Against in the main event, one of my favorite wrestlers, Austin Aries. Sorry.
Aries, yeah.
Austin Aries. I'm like, what is going on? I'm just like, two great. It wasn't even no world title. He could have faced Bobby Roode, but I got Austin Aries. And I'm just like, a guy from Ring of Honor, PWG, a guy who I followed, a guy who I'm like, I wish I could be him, in the indies. And then I wish I could be like Sting and TNA, and they're facing each other. And TNA, not WWE. It's just like, that's it. To everybody else, you go back, I could go back right now. It's probably a decent match. But at that moment, I didn't care. I'm seeing a match that I never thought I was gonna see. That was my WrestleMania. That was my Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes. So everybody, I kind of get it when it comes to these wrestlers, but like I feel like, how you said like Sting is the superstar, the sports entertainer. It's just like I could see why. Like I feel like that's somebody to be like to look up to, and not a guy like no disrespect to Will Ospreay, but it's just like I just don't get it of the role model. You know what I mean? The role model of I want to be just like you. It's two different comparisons and two different mindsets where it's just like, how do you not want to be like Sting in the wrestling world, but you want to be like a Will Ospreay? Why? I would rather be a Sting because that guy's been wrestling since how long? 85? And he was supposed to retire in 2009, and he just retired in 2024.